You know, a lot of people hate Trump, and that's fine. But if you're watching a news network that refuses to air the president of the United States, they're not giving you a chance to think for yourself. They're telling you what to think.
Another thing, they didn't just preemptively censor him, but they censored him based on what they thought he might say and what they decided that you should be allowed to hear. That is a major problem, and no one should accept that. But just in case anyone didn't get to see it, there are a couple of things that were revealed from that speech. One of them being that 250,000 non-citizens were registered to vote in the last election in just 4 states. Just 4. Another thing that was revealed was 400,000 dead people who voted. Bro, we do not have media in this country. We have propaganda. That's it.
Wow. So according to news media, or 4 major news outlets, the American people are too stupid to understand and sift through evidence that the president has to offer. I mean, just listen to what this guy has to say.
Watching tonight's presidential address and listening to what the president says tonight. But we're not going to take it live, as we've been discussing. That's because this president, sadly, has a history of misleading and in some cases simply false statements on what we've been talking about tonight, election security and integrity. Also, the White House earlier today said he would be showing newly classified documents. So we want to make sure that we have time to review those documents, talk to experts about them, contextualize whatever he says or shows before airing it. But if there is news, we will bring it to you ASAP.
You know, I've got to admit, TDS is so bad that when the president of the United States have evidence about a national security threat, certain news outlets don't even want to air it. Instead, they'll say, oh, he's lying, so you don't need to hear it. We'll shift through all the evidence and then we'll let you know what he said if there's anything important. This is censorship. I don't care what you say. Shame on those news outlets. I mean, what happened to journalism? Does that exist in this country? And I will tell you that those licenses that they have should be revoked. Should be revoked immediately. Think about it. The liberal left did damage control way before Trump even gave a speech. That should tell you something. That should tell you that they did not want the American people or their supporters to hear the facts themselves. Instead, they'll feed you their narrative. But I don't know. So much for the cry of Trump being a dictator. Because if anything proved that Trump was not a fascist or a dictator, the censorship of the president of the United States should answer that question.
And he's absolutely right. What's going on, everybody? I appreciate you guys pulling up today. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel for me. I got to say it, man. The mainstream media in this country cannot be trusted. This brother's absolutely right. They can't be trusted. That is no longer an opinion. It's no longer an opinion. The American people have rendered their verdict. Gallup reports that only 28% of Americans trust the media to report the news fully, accurately, and fairly. That's at an all-time low, way down from the more than 70% in 1970. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't make it up. For years, the media, they have protected Democrats while attacking the president and Republicans with completely different standards. They distort his words, interrupt his speeches, fact check him in real time, and sometimes refuse to carry his remarks at all. At this point, much of the mainstream media operates more like the propaganda arm for the Democratic Party than actual journalists. I'm at a point now to where I don't think that you can even listen to the likes of MS No One's Watching and CNN and ABC and so many other these networks, man. You got to go other places. I like ground news. I like plethora of people, on this platform, YouTube. The independent journalist is where it's at. And the deeper problem is this: the unaccountable press that believes that it should decide what Americans are allowed to hear. That is a problem. Thankfully, we do have independent journalists and patriots doing the work here in America and exposing the foolishness, because if it wasn't for that, we would be in trouble and most people would be lost. In John chapter 8, verse 32, it says, ye shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. We got a lot to get into. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
Let me break it down to you like this. Up until 2008, everything was fine and dandy. Everybody was who they were and they found a place where they belonged. 2008, we went and hired the black man to be president because we thought it was going to be cool, and we finally got something. And that all backfired in our face. Why? Because he created all the division that we see now. Everybody who was cool and had a space where they were, all of a sudden decided that they wanted to be the main characters. We need our rights. Black people need their rights. LGBTQ needs their rights. Women want their rights, and the men want their rights. Everybody's fighting. Obama's over here giving everything away to Iran, giving everything away to Canada, giving everything away to China. Everything that we had was given away to everybody else. Creating all these false dependencies that people rely on so that they can take our money. Between this time and 2016, people started to realize that something wasn't right. Everything is going wrong under Obama. Everybody's divided now. Everybody's fighting now. Everybody wants to be in the forefront now. All of this occurred under Obama, and we all realized it. And at the same time, we see the media backing up everything that he says, just confirming everything that he says, while all of our stuff is being taken away, and nobody even realizes it's happening because they're so enamored by the black man in the suit. Then 2016 gets here, and the unexpected happens. Donald Trump. He comes up and he says, you know what, I'll run for president. And he starts calling out the media, and he starts calling out all the lies, and he starts calling out all the corrupt politicians. And everybody who already realized that this stuff was happening, we finally found a voice that was echoing what we were already thinking. Donald Trump never told us what to think. He understood what we were thinking already. So we said, yeah, let's get behind him and make him president. And by doing this, we stopped a whole train that was coming towards us because it was supposed to be handed to Hillary. Donald Trump gets in there, and what happens? Everybody freaks out, the Republicans and the Democrats. Why? Because no longer can they be corrupt. Congress, no longer can they just perform their corrupt deeds. All these politicians that was working together on both sides of the aisle, all of a sudden had somebody who was no longer listening to them. So what happens? The media turns against him. The celebrities turn against him. Every single thing that we have, every company, every corporation turns against Donald Trump. He's the big bad wolf. We need to stop him because he's racist. He's a misogynist. He's this, he's that. He's such a horrible person. Even though the whole world loved this man prior to him becoming president, somehow he's been a secret racist under our nose the whole time. But he wasn't. He was the man who they couldn't stop. He was the man that was going to drain the swamp. He was the man that was going to call out the Republicans and the Democrats for the corrupt things that they've been doing to the American people.
This brother is cooking, and he's absolutely right. He's also the man that's an outsider. He's also the first president that we've had in a very long time that's not connected to the establishment, not connected to the Bushes, Republican or Democrat. And he scared the living daylights out of him. And that's why they put the full court press on him, and ultimately the full court press on the American people.
And now everybody's flip-flopping. Republicans are becoming Democrats. Democrats are becoming Republicans. People are switching sides. People you never thought would be teaming up with Republicans came to the Republican side. People you thought that would never be Democrats all of a sudden flipped. Why? Because they started understanding. All the good people started realizing Donald Trump is doing the right thing. We need to team up with him. And all the other people said, we need to get out of Dodge or else we're going to get in trouble. 2020, Donald Trump gets booted out. Biden comes in. What happens at the same time? C-19. What happens next? They open the borders and start letting anybody in. While we're sitting at home and we can't talk to each other, everybody's coming over the borders at the same time. And they're telling you, you better get a jab. You know what else was happening? China was going around everywhere, buying up land everywhere, making deals with Canada, making deals with Iran, proxy wars. At the same time as Biden is in control for 4 years, they spent 4 years attacking Donald Trump. They spent 4 years kicking him offline. They spent 4 years silencing anybody who trusted in or supported Donald Trump because we knew the truth. And if they shut us up, then they can continue doing what they've been doing prior to Donald Trump ever being elected the first time. But guess what? They couldn't get rid of him. They couldn't get rid of him with a bullet. They couldn't get rid of him in jail. They couldn't get rid of him with accusations. They couldn't get rid of him with the DOJ. Nothing could stop him. And then it became too big to rig. And guess what? We came back by the grace of God. We sat here and watched countries, children, praying for Donald Trump, saying, we need your help in other countries. Yeah. And God answered. And now we're back. And we're fighting the same fight again. And the Democrats are trying their hardest to stop us. They're trying their hardest to switch over to the socialist group. They're trying their hardest to hire their Mamdanis and their Abdul Saids and all this kind of stuff. They're trying, but we're fighting. Now, you can call us racist. You can call us whatever you want to call us at this point. We're used to it. We're used to being called Yahtzees. We're used to being stepped on. We're used to being threatened. Sure, I had a man today tell me in my comments that I'm going to be on a noose, and he's waiting for it. It's okay. Because we're still going to fight that good fight. Call me a coon if you want to, black people, but we are the ones that are fighting for you, even though our lives are being threatened every day, even though you continue to show all this racial hatred towards us every single day. Wake up. God has a plan. God bless.
Amen. This brother was cooking, and he's absolutely right. This side of things, this side of the internet, this side of social media is not for the faint of heart. I know there's a lot of people out there, they feel like they have something to say, but they can't handle the heat, because when you're on this side of things, we're on the side of truth. You can't help but be persecuted. You can't help but be talked down to, talked bad about, called every name but under the sun, called everything but a child of God. You can't help it. But at the same time, it doesn't phase this brother, it doesn't phase me, and it doesn't phase, the people that are a part of the crew over here at ARP, because we understand that we are standing with truth. We are aligned with the right situation. And we understand that there are rhinos. We understand, that there are liberals. We understand that the socialists and communists, they're not coming. They are here. The Trojan horse has already been wheeled in. They've actually opened the gate. We understand it. And it's those of us on this side of things that are standing against it. This is the last bastion of hope here. I don't think people understand it. There is nowhere to run. If our nation fails, there is nowhere to run to. That's why everybody else around the world looks at us and says, hey, man, y'all have to stand pat. Y'all got to hold on, because if we fall, it's a wrap. Do you really want China to be the number one superpower? Do you really want Russia? Do you want Iran to be the number one superpower in this nation or in the world? Could you imagine what that would look like for everybody around the globe? Only 4% of people in the world are American citizens and have the ability to hold a blue passport or hold one. We're small in numbers, but we are mighty. And those of us that are patriots, that believe in this system, believe in our country, that love this nation, that we must be willing to stand up and fight for it. And we got to tell our brothers and sisters that don't understand what's happening, what's at stake. Because again, the enemy is not coming. The enemy is not at the gate. They've made it through. See New York City, see LA, see Seattle. They're already here. And they're at this point, they're not even hiding it anymore. It's no longer a covert operation. It's over in your face. They've told you what their plan is. They've told you what their plan is. What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do when the truth comes out? What are you going to do when all the lies that you believed from 2020 actually comes to the surface? You've been believing all the lies from the liberal media all of this time, and now you don't want to let go of the lies that you've been believing all this time. And the interesting thing for me is that all of you have been believing the lies, knowing that they were lies from the get-go. And the reason why you were believing the lies of 2020 is because you did not want to know the truth, because you didn't want the truth to be reality. Well, guess what? President Trump is back in the White House, and now they actually get to look at it. And I want President Trump to bring all of this to the surface. I want President Trump to show exactly what happened. I've been saying it from day one. Personally, I thought it was a coup that took place during that time. But you on the left, you Democrats, you don't care about the truth. All you want is your sinister ways that happen in this country. Well, guess what? It's all coming out. You can deny it all you want. You can pretend it didn't happen. You can pretend like none of this was ever the case in the first place. You can pretend all you want. The truth is the truth. 2 + 2 will always equal 4, no matter how hard you try to make it to be 5. It's always going to equal 4. You got to love it. That's why I don't have any issues being MAGA.
Can't even add anything else to that. Let's keep going.
I'm telling you, Black liberals are the most racist demographic in this country. These blacks ain't honest, okay? That's my new saying for 2026. The blacks, they're not honest.
Tell us how you really feel, April.
They are the most dishonest, disingenuous group of hateful people you will ever meet. This is so dishonest. Look, Black people, we know each other. We know what neighborhoods that we don't want to be caught in. The dark shoot, hell, it's neighborhoods I don't want to be over there in the daytime.
She ain't lying about that one, man. I lived in Baltimore City, in Baltimore area for 15 years. I lived on the DC side for a slight stance of time as well. And yeah, we know where and where not to. We have a full understanding, like, hey, these places, if you don't know nobody over there, don't go over there. Same thing out in Atlanta. There were places, where it's like, nah, we ain't from over there. We don't go over there.
Why? The propensity that I'm going to get carjacked, they going to rob me, could get shot and be a part of a crossfire. Like, this is not happening, what she's talking about. It's not real. It's not. I got to go back.
Their houses and you can't spend the night. You can't. It's too dangerous. I need you to make it home to me. I need to bury you and you not bury me.
It's too dangerous. You can't go over there because it's too dangerous and I need to bury you. You need to bury me, not me bury you. This is a woman talking about her son and how dangerous it is for him to have white friends. Where's the evidence? These people make these claims with zero evidence. And you want me to believe that white people are the problem? I'm telling you, Black liberals are the most racist demographic in this country. They are the reason why racism doesn't seem to be dissipating, but rather it seems to be on the uptick because they keep it alive. These people need it for identity. They need it for a sense of belonging. They need it for a sense of feeling superior because they're either deficient in their personal lives or they got like a real defeatist loser mentality. Main character syndrome. This is why I call it ethnic narcissism. That is the perfect way to title and name this pathology. It is ethnic narcissism. These people really do believe they have this elevated sense of importance when ain't nobody thinking about them.
Good Lord, April, tell us how you really feel. But she's right. I listened to that clip and I showed it over here a couple of days ago. And I'm sitting there listening to this young lady. I'm like, ugh. She's paid. All of those folks on that side of things, especially, in that entertainment space, these, liberal Black folk, they're all bought and paid for. They know, and she knows what she was saying is false, but this is what needs to be said in order to keep this racial division going that Barack Obama started way back when. April was cooking, and she's absolutely right there. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. Thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.